Hello, my name is Doğukan, and now Bekir and I will present our database project, which is the hotel management system. The contents of the presentation will be first an introduction of the project, a showing of its graphical user interface, then details about how its database is designed by showing created tables with their normalization operations, and finally how it's implemented. Millions of people travel somewhere every so often, and the majority of these travelers naturally require somewhere to stay. Hotels try to meet this demand, but even if they have the necessary number of rooms, their management is a very challenging task. Our project tries to offer a remedy to this problem by making the management more effortless. We try to make our project capable of managing rooms, reservations, customers, and many more things in a hotel. So this project is about designing and interacting with a database capable of supporting this task. To make this task more manageable, we designed an accessible graphical user interface. All interactions with the database can be made through the interface. This page shows how a user or an employee can log into the system. This page may look simple, however, it works efficiently. It does not give access to the user to enter the dashboard unless it's registered in the database. Besides, any field cannot be left blank. If so, the system gives a warning which says, "Please out this field." As a response, for non-member users, sign up section is linked via not a member yet sign up column. This page shows the registration page for the users. The system does not allow a user with non-email fillings, empty fields, etc. If a user registers and is added in the database successfully, the system will direct user into the dashboard automatically. And also, if there is a user which is already registered in the database, the system will not allow the user to try to register and again. This is the dashboard homepage where the hotel statistic can be seen in real time. Total registered rooms, customers, and reservations appear once they are added, modified, or deleted. Also, those records can be accessed directly if the sections numbers are clicked. This page shows a list of rooms in the hotel, whether there are rooms available or not. Rooms can be added, deleted, or modified in this page. Also, users can sort these rooms by simply clicking their fields which are highlighted as green. Sorting can change by a click from ascending to descending or the opposite. Lastly, by clicking Show Entries option, you can choose how many entries should be listed. If total entries are more than the showing entries, just click the next button below. When room is going to be added, the user simply clicks the Add button and a new row appears, and if all sections are filled, the user can add a room by clicking Insert button. In the same page as before, rooms can be filtered. In this example, rooms with suite type are filtered. Users should not have to write all the field to search. The process is done automatically as soon as the user enters characters. Thus, we prevent wrong typing before all the field is written. Any field in the room can be changed directly by merely changing the column's value. Our system does the rest. To delete a room, users can click the delete button and click OK button for confirmation. That's all. Customers currently in the database are listed in here. Like before, adding, modifying, or deleting them is possible. Also, other specifications on the rooms are the same in here. This page shows the reservations in this hotel. Reservations can be modified or deleted in this page. By the way, other specifications on the rooms are the same in here as well. This page is for adding reservations to the system. Simply filling the form and pressing Create a Reservation adds it to the database automatically. If there is a room which is not available or checked is not seen in the room options. However, in customer can check for more than one room. That's why all customers are shown. Now Beckett will present tables, normalization processes, and the relationship diagrams in the database design section for our project.
Hello, I am Bekir and I will explain the backend of our project. So far, Doğukan showed the graphical interface and how one can interact with it. But the interface is just the half of the story, and the other half is the backend of the project. The backend is a database. Using a database is the best solution in a project like this, because the software needs to keep track of a large number of reservations, rooms, users, and customers. And beyond simple storage, we needed an efficient way to research, maintain, update, and work the data. Having the database meets these requirements. The database is coded in MySQL and is the backend of our project. Before coding, however, we went through a lengthy design process to make sure that our design was optimized and error-free. I will detail how in the next slides. The first thing we needed to do was the fact-finding. Fact-finding is gathering information about the real-world situation, which the database aims to model. In our case, we needed additional insight into how a hotel is managed, so that we could design our software to best serve their needs. We achieved this by talking to a friend who worked in the front desk of a small-sized hotel. We asked which data of the rooms, customers, and reservations they needed to keep. Using this knowledge, we decided to have 34 attributes in total in our database. To summarize what they are briefly, the system keeps users and customers' personal data, login and position information, about the users and membership information for the customers. The start date, end date, payment information, and status are kept in the reservations. For the rooms, their types, bed counts, and prices are kept. Using the attributes, we decided to create an example table. We paid attention to make it as realistic as possible. Then, using this table as our reference point, we followed the normalization process. Normalizing a database is following a series of steps to decrease redundancies and issues in it. We followed it to the third step. Then we created an entity relationship diagram based on the final result. In the following slides, I will explain the normalization process briefly and show examples of its effects. This is the first example table I mentioned. It is called the unnormalized form. This table is not useful at all, having many redundancies, multiple data entries per cell, and many other issues. It is obvious that this is not a useful and requires optimization. This is the first step of normalization, the first normal form. It is a bit better, but still not optimal. Unlike previous table, it has only one entry per cell, but still suffers the same redundancy issues as unnormalized form. This is the second half of the first normalized form. This is the second normal form, and the major change here, as you can see, is that the table is broken into multiple tables. Each newly created table has one column set as the primary key. This is done by identifying functional relations in the data and then selecting an adequate primary key for each table. Each primary key is unique and serves as an identification. This page is a customer table and the customer ID as the primary key. This one is the reservation table. It holds information such as reservation start date, end date, payment amount, and information, and the reservation status. Reservation ID is the primary key. Customer ID, room ID, and user ID are used to connect to the other tables, so they are foreign keys. This page shows the room and user tables. Room table holds the price, type, bed count, and availability of each room, while the user table holds user information and login credentials of each user. Moving to the third and final step of normalization, the customer table is the same as the second normal form. Reservation table is also unchanged. A new table called the room type is created. It holds the information about different room types in the hotel. The user table is separated in this step, and another table dedicated to the login information of the users are created. The creation of these new tables eliminates the transitive functional dependencies and reduces redundancies. After creating all 6 of these tables, we drew the entity relationship diagram showing how the tables relate and interact with each other. This helps visualize the database and how it works. To explain the general picture briefly, the reservation table is connected to the user, customer, and room tables through its foreign keys. This means that each reservation made in the hotel has a customer, a room, and an employee associated with it. Customer information is stored in the customer table, information of the employees are stored in the users table, and their login information, such as their passwords, are kept in the associated user login table. And finally, each room in the hotel has a row in the rooms table, and room types in the hotel are kept in the room type table. These connections have varying cardinalities. For example, each room in the hotel has one and only one room type, whereas a room can be related to multiple reservations. These cardinalities are designed to reflect how a hotel in real life works. Databases can be normalized further, but for our project, third normal form is enough. So after reaching it, we created this diagram and then starting implementing the database. Now Doğukan will explain the implementation details.
Hello again. As it's written, PHP is used to build our software and wrote SQL queries into it, do its managing, scaling, maintaining options which are efficient for us to use. Here, we see a SQL of a list of reservation and payment amounts for a specific room type. Here, SQL commands of adding a customer. Now, we see updating a customer field as PHP code. This is the table of customer in PHP Here, SQL of adding a reservation and adding a reservation coded in PHP. As database, we see the reservation table in PHP Now is the SQL of adding a room. As final PHP code, deleting a specific room coded in PHP. Lastly, room table in PHP Why us? First of all, you do not have to keep worried about your archive. Who need papers, notebooks when you have all the information in your laptops or even your pockets? No need lots of records in notebooks. No need to worry about it getting lost, stolen, damaged, or so. Most importantly, no need to try to find records by searching hours on the notebooks. You can easily type any character which is related record. Then you have all the information you need less than a second. In conclusion, we develop a well-designed database to store hotel information which has a user-friendly front-end for the user to interact with the system. By using our software, you can have easily retrieval of all customer, rooms, reservation information for your hotel. You can create, read, update, delete, and sort all the records just by one click. To take advantage of all this useful information, you do not even have to learn SQL. In summary, why to bother writing all this information to papers and have thousands of problems like getting lost, stolen, damaged, hard to find, hard to sort, etc. While you can do that by just one click and nearly no storage on your computer with easy backup. That is why we provide you with our software to get well organized and smarter. Thank you for listening. Now, let's take a look about the hotel management system live demo. The first thing that we do is open XAMPP controller and then start Apache and MySQL. Then we type localhost php.myadmin to see our database. As you can see here, in user table there are no records. When we open our project by typing localhost hotel.home.php, which will direct us to the login page, it's because we try to open dashboard directly. However, our system is protected. No one except the registered users cannot access the software. So we will create one. The colors are bright a little bit. Anyway, I create an account for me. If I type it correctly, it will direct us to the dashboard. When I tried with empty fields, it gives a warning to fill out those fields. Just wrote it. we can see our passwords and chosen gender. Anyways, we got in the dashboard. Let's see the database. Now in here, we are created. Now, try to log out and log in again. What we see is the statistics of the hotel. If we click on the total rooms, which is 4 now, we can see the list of them. Now let us try to create one. If any of these fields are empty, system gives a warning. Let's do it. We wrote it and click insert button. Now check the list in the database. Here, our new room. Now look into the customers. Unlike adding, we simply update this one. Just try the name Doğukan into something. And that's all. Also, we can search our customers by just writing any field of that. Same is applied on the rooms. Escort, standard or suite. That's all. All for is available, just yes. Here, we see the list of reservations. We will delete one from the database. If we confirm the pop-up, it will do the rest, as in the database. Now we can see it. Finally, we will add a reservation. We see a list of only available for rooms for us to choose. We simply just chose one and the customer that we updated now. And from date to date, payment, and number for credit card, refundable, just say yes. As it stated, just say paid. And we can see that our total rooms and reservations so far is updated. And we can see that our entry is just in here. To make sure that we can see it is added for us. That was all the information that any user can use our dashboard. That's all. Thank you.